with me, Simply Lesa. And this is the Nevada Chevy Tracker Travels Edition Everything Lately. Um, Let me do this. Please, this morning, ask questions. Please use 3 uppercase Q's on your questions so I can see them. Oh, look, there's enough sunshine there. I think you can see me. Um, we are inside the shop because that fan is running and it's shaded and it's already started being hot outside and the mosquitoes are horrible here. Hi guys, hi. And the signal's better in here. So, thank you. If anybody is willing to help me with whatever's going on, please don't forget that I have super thanks and super chats. It takes time for that to get to me. I haven't had a chance to work on, I've been kind of mentally full. Not overwhelmed, but just really like the bucket's full. And so I'm slowly doing what I tell you guys all the time, turtle steps. And so I'm taking whatever's in front of me that I'm able to control and do something about. Okay, lots of mosquitoes. I'll talk about these. Anyway, so because of that, I'm just doing whatever's in front of me right now that I have any decision or control over, and I'm doing that one thing. So, hi Iris, hi Catherine, hi George and Tammy, Tiny GPS. Um, wow. So, um, yeah, if you want to help me out, please. You Cash App seems to be like fabulous. I got the card to go with it, so if you want to help me with Cash App, that's great. Or you could tell other people about that in case somebody's able to. I don't know right now the total cost or even what's totally wrong. Just we know initially the head gasket's bad. So initially, we went ahead and ordered the parts when I first got to Boss Custom, is the name of this place. And Mike Boss owns it. He and his wife and his 2 children have been wonderful to be around. But of course, I'm sleeping in the tracker in the driveway, outside the garage door of his shop. And so, I'm being easy, being gentle. There's things around. It's a shop. So, I'm a little concerned about snakes. So I'm not like walking out into the bushes to use the bathroom and things like that. He's allowing me to use the shop bathroom. Although in the middle of the night, TMI or whatever, but I use my pee cup and I respectfully walk it further away from things and dump it. But I'm super careful because there's snakes. I mean, there's snakes everywhere, but whatever. And I feel like mentally there's a lot going on in my mind, and I'm trying really hard, and I think successfully, to stay calm and to know that I've done what I can do and that I have to let God handle the rest. And so, your prayers are incredibly helpful. I've had 3 people say to me that if I'm really stuck, they might be able to help me with more money. But I'm not 100% sure that that's true. Hi, Greg. Um, so whether that's totally true or not, who knows? But I'm just keeping going. So some of you have seen the little clip that I put out. I don't know when I put it out. Oh, oh, I kicked the I kicked the stand. So the shop's closed today, and like Mike is helping his children fill a swimming pool of sorts for them to play in today, and his wife Sam just went to work. She works at a local gas station thing. So I don't want this to turn into e-begging. I'm just saying, I don't know what this is going to cost me. And I get paid tomorrow. And I do have a few bills I have to take care of. Hi, B on the road. Welcome. Um, and so let's see. What else can I tell you in the quick introductory parts? Um, because I am kind of distracted with what's going on with me today. And you'll maybe see people go back and forth or hear sounds and people talking, which is fine. What's this?
Wi-Fi.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's actually working great right here. Okay. So if you hear those things, it's because people live here. And they've just been wonderful to allow me to be able um, to uh, stay at their home and shop and to help me. And I've tried to do things to help them because what else can I do under the circumstances? This is what adventures are made of. And this is the kind of stuff that world travel adventures are made of. And yes, you see me start to smile again. It is fun, but there's a level of stress, and not all bad stress, but a level of this is not normal that comes with these kinds of parts of adventures. But vehicle breakdowns are part of what happens. And when our vehicles are our homes, or, in my case, 95% of the time, the tracker is my home. But I do have a cabin. I can go there sometimes. But now I'm 10 and a half hours away from the cabin. And I'm 8 or 9 hours away from where I was headed. So, yeah, this is not an e-begging fest, but I'm just saying I might need help. And if I need help and you're able or you want to help me, um, check in. I'll eventually get the descriptions below my videos changed to be more crap, I can't think of the word, to be more consistent across the board in my YouTube channel, because now I have Cash App. I also have buymeacoffee.com, which you can make buy me a gallon of gas or buy me uh what's it called? Buy me a gallon of gas, buy me a pizza, buy me a something. Yeah. Anyway, so buy it, but it's so I have a few of those things, and I do still have PayPal me. Um, when I got here to the shop, so I broke down. I've been watching my radiator fluid for a while because it was disappearing and we couldn't figure out where it was going. And we knew the potential was it was head gasket, but it seemed fine, like when I got to Vegas. But I was nervous; it was so hot, so I stopped and let it cool down for an hour at a grocery store because I needed to use the bathroom. I had already gotten gas, and I had had my weekly therapy with my therapist on the phone, and it was very hot in parking lots and things like that. So I went ahead to a grocery store and just let it sit for an hour, and it was a great. I don't know if it's politically correct to say Latino style or Hispanic, maybe Hispanic grocery store is a better term. Anyways, but it was, it was more like grocery stores I'm used to from foreign countries. But it was very, very clean and neat. Prices were good. And they had some roasted chicken leg quarters. What is that right? Drumstick and a thigh, right? Together. It's a leg quarter, right? Um, and it didn't have a bunch of spices and stuff on it, so I had that for breakfast that day or brunch or whatever. And so I gave the car a good amount of time to cool down, and then I checked the fluids, and the reservoir was not empty but close. So I checked with mechanic buddies and knew that it was safe after it resting a while, even though it was a hot day, to add coolant to the reservoir. So I put coolant in the reservoir and then waited a little while, wiggled the car in case it could burp it, and then drove a little bit further. Oh, I contacted Candy. Candy had been on the trip with me to Baja. And so I went ahead to, uh, Candy lived close by. So I went to her house for the night. Her husband's enough of a mechanic that he double checked everything. He said I did everything that he could think was right. And he, hey, Betty Joe, I hope you're having a good day. Um, and so I did my best there, and her husband double checked, and he said, "No, I think you've done everything you can. Go ahead and go on." So I went on from there, um, and my aim was to get somewhere close to Tonopah that night. And so I was carefully driving, watching the temperature gauge, trying to be careful. It was hot. I stopped once to get gas when I was at like half a tank or something. I like to keep mine topped off. And went into a Family Dollar, which when I went in the front door, felt like there was mold or something in the store. And like real quick, got a headache and nauseous, turned around and left the store. So, it wasn't, whatever. But when I stopped there in that parking lot, the wild donkeys wouldn't let me get out of the car. The manager actually came out and shooed him away from my car so I could get out. And so I went in, wasn't able to buy what I thought I was going to get. Family Dollar has $1.25 cans of like an off brand of Sterno. So I thought I'd buy a few while I was near a Family Dollar, and it would give the car a chance to cool down. Didn't happen, so I left and went to a gas station, used the bathroom, and since everything seemed fine, I didn't let it cool down there. I just went ahead and kept driving. And then at Tonopah, I stopped and let the engine cool down. Went in a grocery store that had been good for me when I was on plant-based diet, and thought maybe I could find a snack or something, but it didn't work out. So the car cooled down for maybe more than half an hour, say maybe 40 minutes. I really on purpose walked through the grocery store every aisle, even though I knew I didn't want anything in those aisles, kind of for exercise and the air conditioning, and kind of to let the car cool down. It just was how I felt about it. Felt like it was safe. And so then I went ahead to, not turkeys, they were donkeys. Oh, maybe you were writing donkeys and autocorrect got, yeah. Anyway, so then, so I just went on further, and I got near, so then I decided, okay, well, I'm just going to go further up the road. Came further up the road and just had a hunch. Like, and I feel like that's God, those hunches, kind of God speaking to you or something. Like the next big group of trees you come to where there's some shade, kind of pull over and just take a break. You're tired, it's hot, the car needs a break. Okay. So the next little group of trees was a rest area with a bathroom and picnic tables and mulberry trees. I was like, all right. So I pulled in, made sure my solar panel was in the sun because I had meat in the freezer. So I put the refrigerator in freezer mode, which works fabulous. So and I was making ice in these little ice cube bags I found. I like gadgets and stuff. I found these little bags. Some brands evidently have Ziplocs on the top. Next time I'll buy that kind. The ones I bought were cheaper, and I have to clip the top of them to make ice cubes. But they're a disposable, one-time use. Yeah, I get the one-time use thing, but I don't have space to carry a bunch of stuff. So, but it will make ice cubes in my little freezer when I put it in freezer mode. and it works. So I was just like making ice cubes. I got frozen meat. I'm good. So, but I stopped at this rest area and I was like, yeah, I don't even need to move for a minute. Couldn't find information on whether I could stay overnight there or not, but just deep breath, taking a rest, like, yeah, this is comfortable. Okay, okay. Looked across the street and there's a four-door Suzuki Sidekick and a bunch of trucks and vehicles. And it looked to me like it might be some kind of mechanic shop of some sort or something. So I went ahead and, after a little rest, I walked over there. And, before I walked over, I opened the hood and I checked, and my reservoir was empty. So I was like, all right, well, if I could stay here, I'm not going anywhere for now. There's a bathroom, there's a water spigot, and there's shade. I'm just staying. So walked across, and the guy said, yeah, I don't help people out anymore. And I was like, oh, I'm not asking for that. Just, is there somebody mechanically minded that might look? I am concerned. My oil has looked fine right up till now, but I'm concerned that it could be my head gasket. And I'm like, because my carpet's not wet, which is a sign of a heater core going, I was like, maybe it's my head gasket, not my heater core. So, and that's generally two of the things that seriously can go wrong when you have a phantom coolant leak. So I went to, so he told me, go down the street, there's a tire shop. And so I was like, yeah, I don't know if I should move the car. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to take the car over there. So I drove it over. Now it had been sitting about an hour. I know the reservoir was empty. I put coolant in to the full line. And oops, I forgot to turn sounds off. Sorry about my hand. I used the wrong hand. There we go. Let's do that so it won't ding at us. Okay. So I went over, told the guy a little bit, popped the hood. He pulls the dipstick out, and I was like, oh crap. The dipstick looks like coffee with a little bit of bubbles. I was like, I'm done. Not moving this car. Not moving it. So I'm hanging out. The shop's been open since December. The family that owns it, it's franchised. The family that owns it is having a big party the next day, and then it's going to be 4th of July, right? Which is coming up in a couple of days. By the way, happy 4th of July. Anyway, I'm there 4 hours in the heat, waiting to hear what they're thinking about doing. And the girls in the office the wives in the office are making phone calls to their auto parts supply. And they're saying, 98 Chevy Tracker, blah, blah, blah. And they're saying, oh yeah, Chevy doesn't supply. I know, but the girls weren't listening to me. And I'm saying to them, ask them for Suzuki Sidekick parts. It's the same engine. Ask for Suzuki Sidekick. They're, so they're not kind of listening very well to me, and I know my car. And I'm like, so I asked the owner of the shop, the husband of one of the wives, I asked him, will you call my mechanic so you can get his, yeah, we don't need to call him. Well, I'll just get a head gasket kit. We'll just change it and you'll go on. And I'm like, don't like that answer. I don't like that answer. And then I've been there 4 hours or more in the heat, waiting. And my car's in the heat, And I'm like, well, I'm going to have to stay here. Well, just before they close the shop, the husband says, I don't want you to stay here. You need to go back to the rest area. Besides, it's more comfortable for you because you're going to be here a while. And I'm like, okay, but I need an estimate. I need to know, He goes, we'll get to it. So just before they close, one of the wives, the women in the office, says, oh, it'll be 3 weeks. We're booked for 3 weeks. And especially with all the holidays and weekends, you're not getting in here. I was like, I don't have 3 weeks. And she goes, you're going to be here 3 weeks. So I asked the husband, the owner of the shop, again, you're telling me to go over to that rest area. Can I stay there a few days or something? And he goes, oh, yeah, you could stay there for 2 weeks. I'm like, okay, but your wife just said 3 weeks. And goes, oh, yeah, it probably is. If she says 3 weeks, it'll be 3 weeks before we probably can get parts. And then, it'll be more than 3 weeks. I'm like, okay. I wish they had told me 4 hours ago so I could start to try to look for other ideas. So I go over to the rest area. I drive the car back to the rest area, and I'm scared. I don't want to move this thing, right? Take it over to the rest area. I try to park it so the solar panel is going to be in the sun the most of the day, and in case I have to stay quite a while. And what am I going to do? I make dinner. I try to make myself comfortable. I try to breathe. I try to think of ideas. I pray. All those things. So I go to bed. I sleep good. I kept waking up a lot, not feeling unsafe or anything, because once I do what I do for the day, I lock my doors, even if I've got my screens on and the windows open. And I just say to God, I've done what I know to do. Please pick up whatever slack, protect me tonight, help me sleep well. And that's just the way it went. Mosquitoes are horrible in this area. So, mosquitoes. Okay, these are bug bands that I pick up at Walmart for 88 cents a piece, or sometimes there's a pack with 3 or 4 in them or something. But I pay right about 88 cents a piece for these. They're only citronella. I never buy the ones that have anything else. Every once in a while, you got to stretch them, but these help. They really work well. And sometimes I have one in my hair, one on each arm, and one on each leg. And I also use the old school mosquito coils that are made by Picks. I'll use those too, but not inside. But on my body, I often am doing these. I have DEET wipes, deep off wipes that have DEET in them if I really get hard up, because that's a chemical I don't want on me. But if it's horrible, I'm using them. So let's see. So to kind of finish up this, feels like long story, but it's because I've been over it so many times in my mind, and I'm working on a video with this too. So the next morning I wake up after not sleeping super well, but I wake up early and I pull out my little stove and things for making coffee. And yes, I'm drinking coffee again right now, but it's heavy on my mind that I'm going to have to give up the goat's milk, the dairy, the goat's milk and the goat's milk cheese and the sheep milk cheese. Maybe I can use those for like special celebrations, or like my birthday or a holy day or something. But I'm thinking I've got to give up the dairy, and I'm also thinking that I'm going to have to give up the coffee. Um, in order for my MS to like stay in remission longer. I'm fine even with this stress. I'm not having my arm lock up. I'm not paralyzed or anything like that. So just FYI, I'm pretty much in remission right now, but still trying to be careful. Hi Valerie. I don't know you yet, I don't think. Thank you for coming to visit with us. Um so let's see. So pull out all my coffee stuff early in the morning, 5:30, 6 o'clock, something like that. I don't know. Trying to be quiet because a guy had pulled in with like this huge 3-axle trailer and was near me. Oh, you know me, Valerie. Okay. I'm sorry. Maybe I know you too, and I just don't remember. Sometimes I don't remember names as much. Anyway, so there was a guy like sleeping in his truck nearby, and a pickup truck. And so, I'm trying to be quiet, but my phone's ringing. I checked in with Tiny, uh, and so, phone ringing, bad signal. Can't figure out my signal. But I start to see county work trucks. And across the street from the rest area is a Department of Transportation yard, like. But there's trees in this area, so it's kind of nice, right? And so I was like, well, I'm blessed there. My dad was a blue collar worker, so I know if I see a couple of guys starting their day in a pickup truck or something, I was like, you know what? I'm going to flag them down. They'll know who's a mechanic. They'll know something about something. So I did. I flagged down a pickup truck. The guys actually, I was going out to the road to wave at them, and they stopped to use the bathroom. And I was like, guys, can you talk to me, please? Yeah. So, I met Tony and I forget if it was, I forgot, Daryl, Dylan, maybe Dylan. I don't know, but I met two guys anyways. And they were like, oh, you don't want to use that shop. I was like, really? Okay, well, I listen to blue collar workers pretty much because they usually know what they're talking about. So I was like, well, I'm looking for another option because they're talking 3 weeks or more. And I'm like, is there another option? And so they were like, okay, did you see the big dump truck this morning, like the trash truck? I was like, yeah. And they said, oh, it's a short weekend. He'll be right back by. Wave at him. Ask him for the number of this guy named Mike. I was like, okay. He says he might need an explanation, but catch him because you'll see him before we see him. But if we see him, we'll make sure he's talked to you. I was like, okay, thank you. And they said, and your phone's not working good because T-Mobile took over our area. And thank you so much, Iris, because yeah, thank you, Iris. Thank you for realizing that. Yeah, the stress. I could be feeling horrible, but I'm feeling blessed and exhausted, and my mind's full. Anyway, and I'm doing what I can. Turtle steps. The one thing that's in front of me in the moment, right now, the one thing in front of me is having my regular Sunday morning get together with y'all. So here we are on our regular get together, doing our thing. So, and thank you all for being here again. It is so, it just helps me. Even though I can't speak with you personally, seeing seeing you here, seeing you interact with each other, it helps me so much. But it makes me feel like something I've done in life is helpful to somebody. So there's some reason I'm here. There's some reason I was that this happened in this town and not in Vegas, or not, where Candy's husband knew enough to have helped or knew where to go, or or not in Flagstaff or Kingman where I knew people. Who knows? But there's some reason God got me here, and here I am. So flag down the trash truck. The guy's looking at me like I got three heads or something. Like I'm. Who are you? What are you doing? It's early in the morning. And then they were like, "Oh, you need Mike." I was like, "Okay, yeah, I need Mike." So they said, "Call my wife. Here's her number." And I'm like, "But she doesn't know me." "Call my wife. Your phone will go through eventually. Tell her you need his number. She'll give you his number." I was like, "Okay." So thank you, Precious and Butterball. Are they listening to me too this morning? Hi, Joanne. Hi, Joanne. So, and I know I'm a little detailed sometimes. It's who I am. So let's see. So I texted his wife first and said, "I'm going to call you from this number. You don't know me. Your husband, I flagged your husband down He gave me your number. I need this other guy's number. And so I was hoping the text would go first. And I tried to call her and it wouldn't connect. It kept saying server unreachable. I was like, okay, God, what do I do? Tried it 3 times, took a break. Because that's how I do it. Sort of, like turtle steps. I also know 3 strikes you're out. So I try it 3 times. If it doesn't work 3 times, then it's like take a break. When it feels right again, try it again. So the next time it felt right, I tried it again. It went through, but only for a couple of seconds. She goes, "Who are you? You talk to my husband? Who are you?" And I'm hearing it with my thoughts as if she's saying it like, "You're a woman. Who the hell are you talking to my husband?" And I was like, I don't know why that thought went through my mind, but whatever. You get rescued by the garbage man, right? Yeah, right. So he so anyways, I texted her again, and then I called her and it went through. And I was like, I'm gonna talk fast. She goes, okay. And I'm like, I'm on Verizon, it's not working. She goes, won't work, but text will. Okay. And I'm like, I need Mike's number. I tried to text you. She goes, I sent it to you. I was like, okay. So and then the phone call drops. And then a couple of seconds later, I get 6 texts from her. Honey, I'm sorry you're going through this. Here's Mike's number. Blah, blah, blah. And it was like, well, she never had the thought I had about a woman being scared about a woman talking to her husband, right? So I'm like, the things our brains do to us. Our thoughts don't always tell the truth. So I got Mike's number. I texted them first, said I'm on Verizon. I don't know how this is going to work. And then, I don't know, I was like, well, the next thing that's in front of me is to prepare my tracker and myself for being trailered to another location, because his wife had said, we're finding you a trailer for Mike to get you back to his shop. I was like, whoa, okay. So I'll get my rig ready. So not knowing, I go over to the water spigot and fill all my water tanks without thinking, right? So when Mike actually gets there, I've got to drain the water tanks because he wants it as light as possible. I wasn't thinking, but whatever. So I pack everything up, make everything as get the screens off the window, fold my bed up so he can get to anything he needs to get to. Make sure I can get to my tool bag and so in case we need something I have. So we did got all ready for him. And then the trailer shows up and I'm like, yay. And the guy, young guy, like a high school kid, maybe he's 20, I don't know. But to me, it felt like high school kid, shows up with the trailer and he's like, messing around with the trailer. And I'm like, I'm so glad to see you, Mike. And he goes, I'm not Mike. I'm dropping this off for Tanya. And I was like, Tanya? Oh, I talked to Tanya on the phone, but you're dropping it off? Oh, okay. Somebody's doing something. I don't know what it is. Like, all right, deep breath. I'll go get a glass of water. I'll go get a drink of water and I'll chill pill. I don't know what's happening, but somebody's coming eventually. And then this Bronco pulls in, and I'm like, oh, that's gotta be the mechanic. I understand country mechanics that are busy, and it was Mike. And he owns the shop. So turned out, so you guys, I put it out where you could see the pictures of him putting my tracker on the trailer. So he had to use a come along to get it up on the borrowed trailer. And we had to empty the water tanks. Tried to drive it up on. I was like, I don't really want to start the engine. And he goes, well, we could probably drive it up on. Tried to, couldn't get any power to, it wouldn't drive up the ramps. And I was like, this feels weird. And he goes, yeah, just stop, turn it off. He goes, but leave the key, put it in neutral and leave the key on and pull the brake up. I was, okay, no problem. And then I was like, okay, I'll get out. He says, yeah, get out. And he goes, so he got to come along and had to manually pull it up on the trailer. And at one point he had to chalk the wheel, that means put something in so it wouldn't roll back, and adjust the come along so that he could get it all the way up, because the I don't know, the distance for the come along was short. So he did that and did an excellent job. I mean, he was chaining it on. It wasn't. It wasn't. He was doing it old school, right? So he was using chains on the frame and come alongs to lock it down to keep it from moving. And I was like, okay, now just so you know, my little bit of anxiety, there's a moment when you first move the trailer when I can't look. And he goes, okay. I said, after that, once you're moving, I don't mind helping you watch it. He goes, okay. He goes, I got this. And I was like, okay, but I like to help, but I know me enough to know I'm scared because I don't know you yet. And I have to trust you. But sometimes trusting people, especially when it's like, this is all I got, and I'm 10.5 hours for people I know, right? So, oh, he's been wonderful. So we got it here. So you saw a little picture of that. So far, I have more video. Little picture of that. He had to go to the gas station. And so I handed him, I had 220s, and I have a stashed, do I tell people this? I always have a stashed $100 bill somewhere in my car. But I had 220s. And so I handed him a 20 when we got to the gas station. And I said, this is for your drinks and the gas. And I have no idea if it's enough money. I have no idea. But here's a 20, that'll help. And he goes, okay, no problem. He goes, thank you so much. And so he took the 20 and he started to give me change. I was like, no, stick it in your pocket. No, I need help, So, so he got the gas, he did that. And then we came to his home where the shop is. And this guy has college trade school education and certificates in true mechanics. I don't know the right words, but he's a certified, went to school to be a real mechanic. But he's been wrenching since he was like a kid, like he was 10 or something. So he's a motorcycle guy. He's got a shop car out here, which I'll walk out and show you in a little bit. He got a shop car out here that he's working on. That's a Mad Max thing. And his wife's car is right behind me. This car, her head gasket just went. And she was helping tear it apart because her hands are smaller and she could get it in the tight parts of the engine. So I've been getting an education, which I've seen this stuff before, but not quite this way. And so I've been able to, talk over things while they're pointing at her engine and showing me things that we're going to look at in mine and stuff like that while they're working on hers. So it's good education, but I'm so sorry she's had this problem. So this morning she had to go to work. She took the Bronco to go to work. So I know I'm being real detailed, but let's see. Have I told you most all of it? So we got here. He pulled me up near the shop, left it on the trailer for quite a while because he needed to finish working on a Bobcat, which is I don't know what. Do you guys know what a Bobcat is? It's a piece of heavy machinery equipment, but it's a small one. And he had one here that needed work, and it was on the cement pad. And he wanted to put the tracker on the cement pad. So he was working on that to get it so he could move it. So he did that day, and then he was able to move it. We untrailered the tracker, put the tracker up here, and right close to the door. And then he was like, during the day, it's only Sunday that he leaves the shop door closed, the garage door part. Let's see if I can show you that. The garage door part right in front of me. I'm sitting on a step stool bench thing. Anyway, so so my tracker's on the other side of this door, but he was like, this will let you be close to the shade You can sleep there. I can watch whether there's any drizzling from the car, and I just feel better about it being there with you sleeping in it because he's they've been so busy as a family, they haven't had a chance to get the weeds out from close to the house. And he said at night the snakes move around, and so we want to be careful. Nobody needs to get snake bit. So so they've set me up in a decent situation, and most of the time I can get in and use the shop bathroom. But like I told him, I'm enough of a car camper overlander that I have all my stuff, and so my emergency gotta go pee in the night thing. Uh, I um, I can do that out there carefully, and there's enough driveway that's open that with my uh, uh, lantern and stuff, I can see enough to walk it away and throw the urine out, and in a safe way at night. And so until he wants to open the shop door or whatever, to make I'm trying to let the family be comfortable too. It's hard enough they got company. So so then he called one of his buddies that had a job they thought they were going to do this week. The buddy said no, if she needs the work, we can put mine off. I don't have to have it exactly the day I said, but don't forget me, kind of thing, and whatever. So so then we went in his office and we ordered the parts, and I had enough money to pay for the parts. I took my meat out of the freezer and put it in their freezer in the house so that I could unplug the refrigerator and all and allow the drive battery to not have any issues. So let's see. So the solar panel is just keeping the drive battery going right now. What else? I know I'm detailed. So then we visited, got to meet each other, get to know each other a little bit, realize we all eat very similar, but they only buy their meat from the rancher nearby or the hunters nearby. And so the first night, they got out the smoker and they slow smoke cooked my some of my beef for the day. Elk, oh my god, the elk was good. And so beef from the rancher next door. I think that's the only kinds of meat they did. And they put some spices on one. I tasted it. I'm being super careful. I'm afraid of spices with my MS right now. But that's because I'm. If I could make my MS disappear, if God would bless me with that, what a thing that would be. It might not disappear, but it might at least be in like permanent remission. So I'm willing to eat super careful. So so the first night we did like barbecue dinner, got to know each other better, stuff like that. Um, and then yesterday I did a lot of visiting with his wife. She needed an ear. Isn't that wonderful? I can listen to people. So she was crocheting. So I asked her at one point, look, I'm a little stir crazy and my brain's going. I need something to do. Do you have another ball of yarn and another crochet hook or some knit needles? Maybe you need something. She goes, we can always use homemade washcloths. Can you do something? Yeah. Oh yeah. So she brought me out a crochet hook, and I forgot how for a minute and had to undo it and redo it. But so I made her a washcloth yesterday that made me busier. Oh, and that first night while I was here before he closed the shop, his big tom turkey killed one of the other turkeys. So he was like, "Whoa, we got to save the meat. It just happened, and it's not even like too dead yet." So I helped him butcher the turkey. I did most of it, but anyway, so we butchered the turkey and dressed it out, and then I gave it to her. I was like, "Okay, I'm tired now," and the turkey got smoked. So tough old bird. It was an older bird, but whatever. You're not wasting meat in the country. So the turkey got smoked. I hope we get a taste of that today. We probably will. Um, And then yesterday I made the washcloth. And so I was being, I was starting to hunt in my mind for plan alphabet plans, right? Like plan B, C, D, and keep going on the alphabet until you come to Z, because I need a bunch of plans because I got no idea. Once with the head gaskets, once you open the engine and see the block, you don't know what's going to be in there for damage. And I hope now my temperature gauge on my dash is a gauge, not a light. And it never overheated that I could tell. But I have an aluminum block. So we won't know how bad the damage is until we open it up. We're not going to open it up until the parts get here. Did I tell you already? I forgot whether I told you that when I first got here, we went in to his office, we ordered the parts, and I paid for them. I was able to with the money that I had, and someone of you, not you this week yet, but one of the people that comes out here had cash at me $100. So I had enough to pay for all the parts that will start the job if we don't run into any more problems. Anyway, so I paid for the parts. He ordered them from Rock Auto, but one of the parts won't get here till the 11th. So yes, I agree with you, B. I'm so blessed to be maybe old school enough or whatever to just not be afraid to go out and look silly on the side of the road and wave your arms. Please stop, please stop, please stop. You know, you got to be willing at some point in your adventure to talk to a stranger. And so I did, and it works. So what else? Let's see. So we ordered those parts from Rock Auto, which we knew we could get the parts. And right away, same time, we ordered the parts, and he called Stan at the shop right then and talked to Stan for a few minutes. And I am just so grateful that he was willing to do that. And he said, I'm so glad I talked to him. He said, I bet him and I could have been buddies if we were close by. But anyways, the plan is we'll open it up, see what the damage is, talk to Stan again, make some decisions along the way. So all I can do from there is take a deep breath, take care of myself the best that I can, try to be gentle with this family's home and shop and business and property, and try to be a good customer, and if it's possible, be friend, right? Which it is, obviously. So that's what I've been doing, and not try to burden them with whatever emotion I might feel. Now, honestly, I haven't needed to cry yet. I have been close, like, no, not something else. Okay. All right, not crying, but I just can't deal with. Okay, so just before we closed up everything yesterday afternoon, yes, yesterday being Sabbath, I just kind of was hanging out with his wife, and I don't need to make a big deal over the fact that I want to do Sabbath this way. I mentioned it once or twice, but nothing big. Just, I could use, if you guys don't mind, I could use doing laundry, and I usually wash it out by hand almost every day. But under the circumstances, I just feel like I can't, and I don't know how I'm going to dry it. She goes, oh, I got to wash it dry. Don't worry about it. You want to do it now? And I was like, no, for me, this is Sabbath. Let me wait until tomorrow or something if it's okay. That's fine. It's absolutely fine. And at some point I'll want to wash my hair, but I just can't yet, right? It's like I can only do little bits. So y'all, wonderful support. I'm getting support off of our group, the Keep Living Simple on Facebook. And I'm trying to remember to utilize the friends that I can talk to, but not overwhelm them. So I might text somebody a quick short thing, but not make a phone call because I don't want to make too many phone calls to too many people, but yet I need to hear the voices. And so, some of you that are close enough to me that have my actual private number, if you feel like connecting with me by phone or talking to me, it's okay to call me during a time like this. Sometimes it makes me just feel so supported or so like y'all got me too, right? Even just emotionally, that I kind of need it, but I'm a little bit like I don't want to bother you. So I really appreciate when somebody actually dials my number and says how you doing, right? Even if it's just a short. If you have to say to me, hey, look, I got 2 minutes, but are you doing okay? Is there anything we could pray about special? Or, do you need a verbal pat on the back or something? Sometimes that it feels like somebody's holding my hand or somebody's giving me a hug. So sometimes that's really helpful. Okay. And so let's see what else has happened. So last night, Mike went to pull the garage door down and he went, Lesa, did you look at the camber or did you look at your front end of your tracker? And I went, yeah, I saw it earlier when I was sitting here. I said I didn't want to say anything because I wasn't sure and I don't want to know about another problem too big yet. And he goes, your front end is towed in pretty badly. It was like, yeah, something about the camera is off, isn't it? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I don't know. And I said, don't look at it now. I know you need your time off. He goes, no, I want to look a little bit. And he goes, did I was like, I know the steering wheel's not straight, but that's not what this is. I can tell that. And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, please don't let it be another big thing. And he goes, it's okay. And I'm like, I'm just trying to control my emotion because another big thing is scary right now. And I'm like, I need to know what's going on in the engine before we look at that. So he's like, yeah, you're right. So we're aware there's something wrong with the front end again too. So, and I just had the front end rebuilt. When Jeremy sees this, because he kind of watches things, I bet we'll get some comments on that. But yeah, something's not right. And it started to wear one of my tires. We could feel the weird bumps in it. So, and all that traveling I did all the way to Baja and back, my tires were like brand new. So, thank God I'm in a place where somebody knows what's going on. And I made some kind of offhanded remark last night to Mike and his wife Sam about who knows how long I'm here, but if I'm here 4 or 6 months or something, we're gonna have to find something for me to do or a job or something. And I know I'm trying to be lighthearted about it, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take me to be able to pay for it. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know how bad this is going to be. So, I better have some kind of ideas starting to come through. So, and his wife said, well, we're so close to a gold mine. There are people that when they have their 7 days off, they go back to Arizona. So there's possibilities for a bunch of stuff. So don't get too worried yet. We'll find out what's wrong. And, we ordered the parts for part of this. And then we'll see what's got to be done. And we'll just figure it out. And then her husband says, but if it's too much, I'll put you to work. There's some stuff we can do around here. I was like, okay, well, work yourself right into a whole new life. I don't know. You never know what's going to go on, right? So, okay. I feel like that's the big story. Let me check. Please ask questions. Please, whatever. But if you want to donate to help me out, please understand that really the Cash App seems to work super great. I get it within minutes. That's really cool. And I do have PayPal still. And PayPal is not charging either of us money if you use my email address and you make it as a donation to a friend. I don't think you have to It's not donation, it's something else, but you're sending it to a friend, is how you do it. And so either one of those will come to me. I noticed that somebody had sent me a little money yesterday in PayPal, and it'll take me 3 business days to have that transferred to my bank account. So don't want this to be begging. I'm saying pray will do more than anything else, but somehow it always works out. I'm old enough to know that I've gotten through life this far. God's had my back. So somehow it'll all work out. Somehow it'll all get paid for. It'll all be okay. But right now, deep breath, and I do what's in front of me because that's about all I can do right now. And I appreciate y'all being here this Sunday and wanting to hear me tell this long story. But I like to be detailed. It's part of who I am. Let's see what y'all are talking about. I'm going to touch the screen a little if it will come up. Thank you, Tiny. George and Tammy. Okay, let's see. Earth Angels. Yes. Good thing I flagged down that guy. Yeah, let me tell you. Yeah. I feel so blessed. Okay. I can't see messages back very far. If you have a question, please put a few Q's and 3 uppercase Q's help me see it. The question so I can answer you. Um, what was I going to walk over the yard and show you? Oh, how I'm set up for camp or something. I don't know. I'm tired. I can do that a little bit. Um, you'd like to see that, right? Kind of where I'm set up for camp. The cell phone signal comes and goes, and my Wii Boost is not helping. By the way, I had a thought. If I need to, if I need to, I could barter my Wii Boost for some of this work because Mike's cell phone is a Verizon as well, and he could install it in his work vehicle so that his cell phone would work better when he's on the road. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Happy 65th, right? Although I'm not, I never really kept birthdays as a general rule. I always was a little jealous of other people that got to have birthday parties and stuff. But now that I don't eat cake or anything, it's kind of like, well, it doesn't matter. But LMNT electrolytes, raw flavor. Making sure I do that so I don't have leg cramps. For like 2 months, I was having horrible leg cramps. I try to get one of these in every day. Oh, and this Contigo shaker jar is my favorite because I can actually get my hand inside to clean it. So I don't need a bottle brush. And I don't care that it's not so thermal because whether I have ice or I don't have ice, yeah, a cold drink is nice, but it won't kill me to drink room temperature water either or stuff either. So, yeah, that's a yes. Agreed, George or Tiny. Yes, agreed. That is not a first resort with the Wii Boost. But to be honest with you, all the cords, cables, and the struggles with me being able to, in the space I have, to make it work better, I don't know that it is going to continue to be the best option for me. I am in off grid camping situations often, and I might have to do the mobile Starlink at some point. Or I might have to just suck it up and be willing to be as off grid as I would be if I was long distance hiking. Which brings up something else I thought of earlier. Let me mention this and then we'll go walk around a little. Um, something I thought of earlier was my little rock pals is helpful, yeah, and not. Yeah. And the size is big and not, right? But because I tend to think like a long distance hiker, and because often in situations like this, oh, that's fabulous to hear, Catherine, or to read. Hi, sweetheart. You can see the top of a short head, but she's a child. I'm not putting her on my video. So, um, Miss Alice just walked up. What you want? You watching a movie?
Yep.
Cool. You gonna sit here while I talk to my phone?
Yep.
Okay. I'm talking to people on my phone, and they're typing messages to me on here.
Oh.
Okay. So I can read what they say to me, and so it's as if we're talking, but they're typing, so I have to read. And you're not reading yet, are you? Not yet. Okay. So she's watching a movie. Um, how you doing today?
Oh.
You feel good today? Yeah. Okay. So, okay, I was starting to tell you. So, I've had. Oh no, I don't want your face on there. Okay, because I don't want your mom and dad to. We don't put. I don't put children on mine. Okay. I could put your back on, but I don't want your face. Okay. Okay. Because I don't want to get in trouble with somebody. Your mom and dad get to decide that. Okay. So so let's see. I was telling you about the rock pals. I really want to switch the rock pals or leave it at the cabin or something. I really want to switch it for anchor battery packs like we used to use, well, used to, like long distance hikers use. That's what I want to switch over to because the Cascadia 4x4 system on the car takes care of the freezer and the fridge. And at the cabin, the little old Bowden set will run the fridge too. I don't know if it will run it in freezer. The Rock Pals will run it in freezer at the cabin. So I might keep one of those old systems for the cabin. And I won't put her face on. Okay. Just so you know, I won't do that. Okay. Her dad just looked around the corner. So, um, um, so let's see. So I want to replace for travel. I want to replace the things that do my phone because I did barter away the Chromebook for your hand is on there. That's good. That's good. You can wave. Yeah, but not your face. Don't. That's good enough. That's good enough. Good job. So she's waving at you if you guys want to say anything to April. It's April, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I got her name right. So yeah, I want to go back to the Anchor battery packs. I bartered the Chromebook with Stan for some of the last work I had done on the tracker because he needed a better computer at the shop, and he has the internet 24/7, so it works better for him. So if I go back to the long distance hiker style battery packs, then my being able to quickly move around and do things like this filming and be attached to a battery pack is much simpler with the small ones as opposed to carrying around the big one. And if I had to put something in a backpack and go somewhere, it would be much simpler to put small ones in. So if you hear me talking about that, that's why. So I'm back to only the cell phone. Oh, guess what? George and Tammy are friends of mine. They just said, "What a beautiful angel. Good morning." They saw you wave. They saw you wave. Yep. Yep. Yeah. But we're just not putting your face. Yeah. Okay. Because that's not cool. That's not cool in the world of online. So, yeah. So that's what I'm planning to do with the battery pack stuff. And I don't mind the possibility. Oh, there's another Iris is waving at you too, at your hand. She's she She did the little wave emojis. There you go. Yeah. Way down the corner. There she is. Yeah. So, yeah, if you guys hear me talking about doing that, that's what I'm trying to do. So, let's see what else. I'm gonna walk around with you guys and take you out to see the car. But oh, so if you know somebody that really needs one of those old battery pack systems, they are not new by any stretch. I'm not saying I need to get rid of them because I can use them at the cabin, but I might rethink what stays at the cabin so that what 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 I feel like needs to stay at the cabin is just enough of solar so that when I get there, I could take the refrigerator out of the tracker and, and run it in freezer mode at the cabin. But I'm hardly there. So if I have only that amount and enough of the ports so that I could, charge the cell phone or something of that nature, or recharge these, like my fan is a rechargeable USB, right? If I have, that's enough. That's all I want there because I don't want anybody to steal it. For one thing, if I don't have it, they can't steal it. Simple, right? And so that's the direction I'm going with that stuff. So if there's a better setup than what I got for that stuff at the cabin, and I have an old 70-watt panel somebody was throwing away is at the cabin that runs the battery packs when I'm there. So it's no big deal. So I don't have to have anything more than that. So if somebody really needed the Rock Pals or somebody really needed the Bowdens and there was another way to set me up at the cabin, I would be willing for those to move along. So in the vein of helping other people, let's keep that in mind if there's a way to do that. It wouldn't hurt to like have an old, I'd want a sealed AGM so I didn't have to add water to it. And so it could maintain itself. And a lithium, I'd have to be careful of the cold weather, and there's 4 seasons it snows. So, and I can't afford them. But if there was a way to maybe do just one battery at the cabin that would keep things running for when I'm there with the refrigerator and for just charging cell phone stuff when I'm at the cabin or recharging my drill battery and things like that, then I'd be willing to give up those other systems to help somebody. And I know that's a possibility because there's somebody in the world that a 300-watt Rock Pals with a 100-watt fold-in solar panel, they'd be like in seventh heaven to be able to have one. So it's possible. Let's throw that out. Let it be out in the air that I'm willing to do that. Just like in this case, I'm willing, if it's the right thing, to let the Wii Boost move on. It's not that I don't need it, but yeah. Yes, I do remember you did that, Tiny. But in that moment, I wasn't in that space. But the fact that the Rock Pals is so large in the tracker, and there's 2 or 3 things with the 2 or 3 reasons that the Rock Pals is not perfect in the tracker. But one is its size takes a big space in the tracker that I could be using for one of other things. So like my Kelly kettle, I'm always nervous I'm going to bend it because it's behind my driver's seat and it's tall and round. It could be sitting where the Rock Pals is, and there'd still be room for me to have my ice jug, which I left home. And it keeps ice for 7 days as it melts, which is kind of nice to have, even though I'm running the fridge as a freezer. And that would ride right there where the Rock Pals is. The two of those could be there and it would help. So okay, I want to stop talking about that. I'm tired of talking about that. So let me turn the camera around, not get your face. When I go to move, would you turn your head that way? Not yet, not yet. Wait a minute, let me get this fixed. Okay, Miss April, I'm going to move the legs up. So I'm going to fold up the. Okay, hang on, y'all. You're all way high in the shop. Okay, I'm folding up the tripod, and yeah, I'm bumping y'all around. You're gonna get dizzy, guys. Whoops, I can't do it. It's locked. It's supposed to be unlocked. Unlock. Go down. Okay, now lock it back. I know, I'm wiggling you all around. Unlock. Wait a minute. It didn't unlock in that. There it goes. Unlock. How come that one's stuck? Maybe I have to open that. The middle part got stuck on my tripod. I was putting it into selfie mode. Okay, can't do it. The middle part stuck. Maybe it's dirty. All right, we'll leave it there. Y'all gonna have to be that way. Turn the camera around. All right. Now, hopefully you can hear me. We're gonna walk. Now, you look at your mommy's car for a minute. Okay, there you go. You could quickly. No, look at mommy's car. There you go. I'm gonna leave my drink there. Okay, you can do what you want to. I'm not looking at you now. So we're walking through the shop. What a blessing to have this. Oh, I didn't see that. Can you see the green box on the freezer inside their house? They must have decided to take some eggs and see if they'll incubate, or they've got baby chicks that hatched. Um, they're doing homesteading here. And as I go outside the door, now I didn't put my mic on, so I'm sorry, but this is his shop car, which is a Mad Max car. And he was so worried about making sound when I told him I was going to be doing this morning. But I told him just to do what he normally does. So he has, spikes on it and cool things. It's kind of a cool car. Cool car. Look at those dangerous things. Yeah. So here's the shop. Oh, he's grinding. A mechanic's day off is all about doing his own work. And so there's the tracker. We'll go this way. The mountains near them are incredible. On the mountains still. All right, we'll try to show you some stuff here. There we go. Boss Customs. So this is where I am, and you see, I try to keep things tight and respectful. Yeah. So I have the screens on the window. I learned something that I hadn't thought of. These screens have this part that goes over the mirrors. Well, I pushed it in some, and it gave me just a little more space so it's tighter to the car. So possibly that will help those crazy mosquitoes from biting me so much at night. Mosquitoes have been bad. I can't really get the distance to show you you might be able to see it. I don't think I can get you the distance to show you how towed in those tires are. But anyways, that'll be something to work on. You might be able to see it from down here. More stickers. I've been able to work on some of my stickers and patches. Oh, in a minute, I'll show you the other side because, okay, water tank's empty, but they're letting me use the hose. Let's see. I pulled the curtains down because it's so crazy hot. This morning, I had my coffee here. I got a new pillow from Walmart for $5. This is my tarp and solar lights to pull off the back of the tracker, so it will help me, have an outdoor space, but I can't set that up at their home. So, basically this is it. And I put the curtains down because it's just so freaking hot right now. Well, listen to me, freaking. Yep. But I sat here this morning with the rock pals, plugged in and made sure the phone was charged well. Let me check that while we're talking. How much is the battery? We're at 65. Okay, so we're still good with that. And y'all know I found this little box. This is kitchen and coffee stuff. Yep. And then there's another. This was an inexpensive craft box from Walmart. That has, yeah, I love coffee. I don't know, they're giving up coffee and goat milk. I'm not sure how I'm really doing that. That's the LMNT electrolytes. That's the kind of electrolytes I'm doing. And I'm trying to do mold-free coffees. And I thought Bulletproof was the best one I could find in that moment. And it might be. But I heard there's another brand. I haven't looked it up. I don't know what else to tell you guys right now. And my chair is this. My chair fits in this bag underneath. It's the Pico chair from GCI. Fits in there. Okay, y'all have seen the car, so I'm not doing all that. But I did want to show you. I had a little time the other day. Hi, baby. There's the shop dog. He tells them when anybody's around. And the chicken coop. So they're getting eggs every day. So I want to show you this inside the car. So I did finally get a good backpack for my clothes. And okay. So yes, things are kind of discombobulated right now. I'm going to try. I couldn't get this one section to close up just now. What did I do? It's stuck. You're supposed to twist one way, unlocks it, and then lock it the other way, but I can't get it. Oh, there it goes. Oh no, it didn't go. It's the one below it went, but not it. Okay, I can't make it do it. I'm going to try to show you up here. I had the opportunity to do some more of my patches. Whoops. Can you see those? And whoops, it wants me to rotate it somehow. I don't know what it wants me to do. Okay, there we go. Okay, I can see it now. See the feather? Teresa, I forget her name. Am I saying the right name? Not Teresa. I'm saying the wrong name. She made that for me. Some of you nomads know her because she was making feathers for everybody. And so these are some of the things that are, yeah, on the headliner. Okay, pulling back out of there for now. Dirty clothes, just sitting. It's what happens. So we close the door and just let it be. But awful nice. They're the kind of people I can relate to. And Mike really has been wonderful. So
I just got email confirmation your part shipped.
cool.
So your head gasket kit should be here the 7th.
Cool.
The head bolts, it's saying the 13th with it, which is a Thursday.
Yeah, okay.
And then the filters and coolant and all that stuff will be here the 11th.
Okay.
So
it's all good. I've already contacted Overland Expo people and they haven't contacted me back, but I told them I'm missing the event. So
okay.
It's all good.
I just want to give you an update.
Thank you. Yep. So there you go. You heard it from the horse's mouth. That's what's happening. And it's starting to get real hot. It's probably a lot to do with the MS. And I apologize. I know my hand can be shaky. But look at, only God could have sent me here. Because who would have, you wouldn't have stopped. You would have just driven by. Of course, I didn't stop right here, but down the road a little bit. Gorgeous mountains up here. You can see the highway right there, goes right in front because that truck. So give you a little view. And so I think this is their greenhouse. Yep. So, yep, there goes that truck. And so they're 25, 30 miles to town. But yeah. So I'll be able to walk this driveway more, and because I won't walk in the weeds, but I'll be able to do this more in the next few days because I'm starting to feel better. So, all right, I still can't make this. You know, I'm focused on making that handle go down like it's supposed to, and I can't. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna go back inside where it's or something. Maybe we'll go in the backyard. I'll show you where we had the Let's walk through this way where this driveway is. I'll show you where the barbecue spot was where we had dinner the other night. It was really enjoyable. I got tired early because, you know, come on, I hadn't slept before I got here. And then I helped butcher a turkey and I was just exhausted. So, you know, I went to bed early that night. And last night I went to, uh, early and I just put on a video to watch because I needed to get I needed my mind to calm down from everything else. So we sat over here by his smoker to enjoy the smoked meat the other night. Yep, I'm probably going to help him get some of this yard cleaned up while I'm here just to do something, you know, to help out. I can do that. You know, I'll be careful, but I can do that. All right, let me go back inside where I can see the camera or the phone so that I can, whoops, so that I can read whatever I saw. There were more comments. And then I'm going to be done. So I took you on a little walk for me. We're coming back in the shop. Wipe my feet off. I walked through that hose water. All right, let's get back here. And they have kids. And so this is, I could show you this. This is what we're gonna, well, maybe it's too dark. It's awfully dark. Well, you can see a little bit, but this is what we're gonna have to do to mine. We're gonna have to take the cover off so that we can see what the damage is on mine. So the fact that they're doing hers at the same time is interesting, right? So there we are. Sit back in here in the shade. All right, and now I'm gonna wiggle y'all again as I try to put the tripod in stand-up mode. There we go. Go down. Okay, locked. And now you're looking at my belly or something, right? And let's see if I can get you look that way and up that way. There we go. We're back. Whew. So that was interesting. Let's see what y'all had for comments. Live chat. You have made friends with a new family of honest people. Yes. Yes. And how blessed am I that God led me to this? I am being careful with the heat. I didn't show you, but I have my little, you buy them at Walmart, the little necklace thing that's a fan. And they were on sale recently for like $3. So I bought one. It's rechargeable USB. And so please thank him for all of us. I will. How is the cargo net holding up? Just fine. I don't put anything of any weight up there anyways. But I've had baby wipes tucked in it. Paper towels are perfect. You know, I can reach them from the front, the back. If I need to blow my nose and grab one, it's been great. Right. Oh yeah, the battery stuff, not a rush because I'm not back where we can deal with it anyways. But just, I just thought we'd throw it out there. We'll see what happens. If somebody really needs it and it's easy enough to do, then we'll just switch my system so that mine's simpler for its purpose, and that what somebody might need in a portable sense is useful for them. I'm fine with changing these things as is helpful for somebody or useful. And as always, pray for each other. Okay, it's worth it. I mean, it does help. And when you pray, when I pray, I ask that God help my thoughts be His thoughts and my will be His will, and that whatever is best for the all, help me to accept whatever it is that my life needs to be or do. And so that's part of how I talk to Him, because it's what I do. So I don't know. I hope that was all. I'm not telling you how to do something specific. I'm just saying, when something happens, do the thing in front of you. I do the thing in front of me. I remember to use my turtle steps. I try to remember to take care of myself so that I'm the best person I can try to be in the situation as I interact with other people, so I can be respectful, so I can be, clear, so I, can control emotions well. And so, I do the best I can with that, so that it's so I can be a blessing even when I need help. And then don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone and flag down a truck, or ask the total stranger, hey, you got any ideas? I'm not sure what to do. And to double check that you're okay to stay where you needed to stay, right? Or to whatever. Because when this was happening, I was like, guys, I'm gonna need to stay with my car because I have a special diet, and then I'm like, yeah, I don't need to tell them all of that. I need to stay with my car because my car's my RV. And they're like, oh, cool. Okay, that's fine. You could do that. That's fine. But now the other shop was like, well, there's a hotel down the street. And I'm like, I can't afford a hotel and do a head gasket. And they're like, well, what are you going to do? And I said, well, my car's all set up for car camping. Oh, well, you can't stay here. So, sometimes if you ask around, you find ways to maneuver things. So, you know, be willing to step out of your comfort zone a little bit. Take care of yourself. Pray for each other. Help somebody when you can. That's what I got. I see we lost. I may have lost a connection a second while we were gone. We lost a bunch of people, but it's been over an hour. And you got the whole story. So I'm going to say goodbye. You all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Pay attention pay attention. Watch out. There'll be some videos because, I have time. Talk to me as you can, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Have a great week. Ciao, y'all.